So I don't watch a lot of college football these days. I don't ever make an effort to watch it. I don't subscribe to any of it. I see it sometimes when I'm at my beloved pizza place, which I do once a week, called Embers, and I'm there once a week. And I eat like a frickin' swine. It's so embarrassing. In fact, it's a pretty big achievement, frankly, that many calories. But I go in a bunch of calories light in any case. So I ran into this story about Cam Ward after having seen him play occasionally just through happenstance. Gifted. I don't know a thing about his work ethic. I have to guess it's extraordinary because it's almost axiomatic that people with great athletic gifts who don't steward those gifts don't end up with greatness. I knew a guy named Bill, and I won't say his last name. He was huge. When we were in junior high, he had man face. He did. He had man chin and man face, man chest. And I'd heard about this guy named Bill, and, oh, you think you're tough. Well, I didn't, but people thought I was. I knew I wasn't. But, okay, so you're bigger than some kids. You got to see this guy, Bill. And I'm at a hot tub at one of these, fun slide places, and a man is sitting next to me with man face and man chest. And one of the kids from his school pops into the pool, and he goes, "Oh, you met Bill." What? That's the guy you've been talking about? He, in high school, turned out for the football team, and he was about 6'2", weighed maybe 210 pounds of solid muscle, and they put him in as a lineman. On one of our two-a-days, coaches had a last man standing wind sprint event, which just was horrible if you're not a great runner. So what it was a race. Every time we ran, I don't remember how long it was, probably 40 yards, the top person was out. They didn't have to run anymore. So, of course, the skill players, the running backs, the wide receivers, they always won this, but not this time. Bill, like 6'2", maybe 6'3", 210 pounds of solid rock muscle, said, "I don't have to run no more?" Coaches said, "That's right." He destroyed everybody. And it wasn't even close. And we had running backs on our team recruited by Stanford, Notre Dame, and big-time college football. He destroyed them. And then he quit football because they wouldn't let him smoke pot. I saw a picture of him about 2 years ago on his speedboat. And I said to one of my friends, "Wow, I guess Bill still works out." He said to me, "No, he doesn't touch a weight. He just looks that way." You'd swear you're looking at an NFL lineman, but he's not. He builds fiberglass boats, and I'm sure it's a very good living. Cam Ward is gifted, and he has to steward these gifts, but he doesn't understand team. Team means something. Cam Ward did something I think utterly ridiculous. During a college football playoff game, he made a decision for Cam Ward, a decision that his coaches later defended. Team needs to mean something. I'll talk about this in a second. We created a team for our finances, and we put a captain in charge of our team, and that's Zach Abraham at Bulwark Capital Management. So when you take money that you've saved through your life, you know what that is? It's your life's energy. I mean, to some degree, that is your life's energy. And Peter Weisbach, a talk show host who's since passed on, he invented that phrase for money, life's energy. So when you give it to someone else to steward, that's a big deal. We chose Zach because 90% of his family's net worth is tied up in his fund, Bulwark Capital Management, which has been successful for decades. And then because of Zach's principles. Risk management, which he thinks the best way to achieve is active management of every single portfolio, which can reduce risk and volatility. Those are his obsessions. And then there's this. Zach is a teacher at heart. He will offer you a second opinion on your retirement. So are you good to go or not? If you're good to go, fantastic. Zach will take care of that. And he'll tell you, you made it. Good, go retire. If you're not, he'll tell you the same thing. You're not good to go. And he'll show you how he can help. So go take advantage of this free offer, no obligation. Call him at 866-779-RISK. That's 866-779-RISK, or go to knowyourriskradio.com. That's 866-779-RISK, or go to knowyourriskradio.com Investment advisory services offered through Trek Financial LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Investments involve risk and are not guaranteed. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Trek 24-378. One highlight of Cam Ward, who is a quarterback. He's with Miami. And you're going to watch him with incredible skill and athleticism and strength do something he shouldn't have been able to do.
Edge pressure. Ward ducks away. Spencer had him. Ward flips it to Williams. How do you like this? Down the sideline.
If you look at the awareness of this, you look at body positioning. You have huge, fast linemen and linebackers all over this guy. 2 times they have him. He should be down, but he's not. But then he has the awareness to issue a shuttle pass to a relief receiver. First attempt almost down. Second attempt almost down. Tosses for a near touchdown.
Over and over when you start talking about the playmaking ability of Cam Ward. Amazing.
And you can look at highlight reel after highlight reel after highlight reel. He's a magician in these positions, and sometimes he looks very lazy. Sometimes he stands in the pocket. Now, that might be like he's showing off. There's boxers who do this. Your team's so light on the line, I don't even need to move. I don't even need to hop up and down. I don't even need to have fast feet. I'm going to stand like I'm hanging out at a street corner, and then I'm going to toss a pass for 40 yards on a wire. Dang it, the talent. He's likely to be one of the top picks in the NFL, but he doesn't understand team. He made the decision to not continue to play in a bowl game. He decided to quit, only playing half of the so-called Pop-Tarts Bowl. Incidentally, if you eat a lot of Pop-Tarts, don't ever think you're going to be athletic. That's such a perversion, Pop-Tarts Bowl. No one knows if that's an important bowl. Bowls should have names that matter. Pop-Tarts Bowl. So at halftime, he pulled out. And Miami media and draft experts are pushing back on this, saying that he quit. This comes from Canes Warning. Media that follows Cam Ward Miami closely pushed back against the assertion he quit on the Hurricanes by only playing in the first half of the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Well, that's self-defeating. He did quit on the Hurricanes, and his team lost. Local and national media who cover college football, Miami and specifically Cam Ward closely, came to his defense on Saturday, playing in the Pop-Tarts Bowl at all Saturday. Canes Insight reported on Saturday night, it was always the plan for Cam to only play half. Everybody was good with it, and it wasn't a unilateral deal. If Ward had opted completely out of the game, there would have been little to no criticism. Local media and several draft analysts defended Ward's decision to only play in the first half. The draft analyst said the decision by Ward will have zero impact on his status either way for the NFL teams. Warren completed 12 of 19 pass attempts for 190 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, leading Miami to a 31-28 halftime lead over Iowa State in the Pop-Tarts Bowl on Saturday. With Ward at quarterback on Saturday, Miami had 358 yards in the first half and 166 without him in the second half. Emory Williams relieved Ward in the second half and was completed 5 passes in 14 attempts for 26 yards, no TDs, and 1 interception. Williams did lead Miami to only on to 2 scoring drives. Miami had a 10-play, 71-yard drive that culminated in a Mark Fletcher 1-yard run in the third quarter to extend the Miami lead to 38-28. But they went on to screw the game up. It should affect his draft outcome. He should have said, no, this is a really close game. I'm going back in. My team matters. But college football is busy destroying itself with money for these students that have become absurd. The NCAA is a scam. I get why these students get the money. After all, graduate students can go out and earn money producing graduate papers, et cetera, and results and research that they can get a percentage of. It doesn't make sense that football players can't get the same thing. They're making money for their schools in the NCAA. But the millions and millions and millions in the transfer protocols and the no loyalty to team should mean something. When I walked down and got my butt handed to me at SealFit, and my kidneys stopped working, and after 12 hours, I got medically pulled myself with consultation with the medic there because I couldn't pee for 12 hours. There were still teammates. There were still teammates who came to me and said, we didn't want you to drop. This is your body. You push as hard as you can. Love you. You're badass. And then this. After my friend Brian had not completed one of the physical evolutions, Murph, he didn't complete it, very close to completing it. He got performance dropped. He and I standing there seeing our teammates shivering, just about in hypothermia, because that was by design. You soak in an ice tub before you do Murph. You soak in an ice tub after you do Murph. And then you are forced to eat your food as you shiver. Now, there's 3 people. They could have been hugging each other, but they hadn't gotten to that point of intimacy yet. Brian and I went over to the table and offered them back massages. And they took us up on it. We had been dropped. Myself medically, Brian afterwards with a physical drop. They took us up on it. Team meant something. When I was struggling through an evolution, and it was an evolution with bear crawls and sandbags, a young guy named Teddy made it his job to bear crawl next to me so that I wasn't in last place. He made it his job to say to me, despite it costing him his ability to breathe, I'm with you, Herman. I'm right here. We got this. I'm with you, Herman. I'm right here. We got this. When we were carrying a gurney with 180 pounds on it for something like 4 hours, one of our teammates said, guys, I'm not good. We need to switch. Admitting vulnerability, and we switched, and we took that weight from him for a time. When it became clear that my kidneys had shut down at about 5:30 p.m. and my allotment of salt tabs had run out, my teammate Carlos said to the medic, no, give him mine. And the medic said, then you won't have any. He goes, I don't need any. He's my teammate. Give him mine. Carlos didn't need to do that. He went on and completed that. He and 2 other guys secured the 50 hours of nonstop work. One of the last evolutions they endured was being put back in the ice tubs. They had to go back into the ice tubs after they had been nearly hypothermic from a beach rock that went something like 16 hours. I wasn't there. I'm doing this from memory. They put them each in their own ice tub, and then they said, hey, you get to build a fire and warm up. You guys are going to get to build a fire and warm up. Isn't this going to be great? Here's your shovel to build a fire, to warm up. And then the coaches took the shovels apart and tossed the pieces and the tools into their ice tanks. Just as soon as every one of you puts your shovel back together, you can all get out of your ice tub. So individually, they had to put their shovels back, but no one could get out to build the fire until everybody could. So one guy made it. He got his shovel back together, and he had to try to coach the other guys on how to do it. Now, mind you, you've been awake for 50 hours. You have not stopped moving for 50 hours. You definitely have not slept for 50 hours. You've burned about 10,000 calories an hour. You're hypothermic in a tub at about 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. You try it. So one of the guys had to coach the others through it. He could have said, this isn't fair. I built mine. My shovel's built. I'm building my fire. But SEALs don't do that because SEALs live and die as a team. That's why they're so successful. Cam Ward's not a teammate. The idea that this wasn't unilateral, that the team and he agreed, sounds like a negotiation to me. I could see Cam Ward's agent, and maybe it is his agent, saying, hey, look, my guy's not going to play at all. Can we have him for one half? Oh, I'll check with my guy. So why are they doing this? Obviously to preserve his body for the draft. Now, maybe he's got something wrong with him we don't know about. Maybe he's got a physical ailment we don't know about. Maybe he's on the edge of an injury. We don't know about this, and maybe we shouldn't know about it. But it sure comes off as not caring about team. There's another guy like Demetrius Knight. And he was talking about the decision that Cam Ward made to sit out the second half of the Miami Bowl. It's a loss game. And there are guys like this in the game, and there's a difference here. Demetrius Knight.
Just to finish the right way. Finish what you started. I have kids, and I didn't want my daughter or my son to be like, oh, why didn't you play in the last game? And I'm like, I didn't feel like it, or I felt like I would get injured. I don't want to give them an excuse, if they feel like they got to finish homework. Oh, I felt tired. I didn't feel like doing it. You did it in Illinois, and then I got to live with that. But No, I want to show them how to, finish what you start. When you start it, finish it. And that's a good quality in a person.
One of the first things that happens at an event, well, in this case, SEALFIT and events like SEALFIT, is they make sure that the first part of the evolutions are you're all individuals. There's no ability to bond as a team. They make it impossible by the design of the physicality. They make it impossible. They're trying to get you to have to do it alone, to focus on yourself. That's where I failed in the first part of that day. When we finally became team members, something incredible happened. We began to police one another. I kept crossing my arms. That's illegal at SEALFIT. That'll get you a demerit, and your team will have to pay for that. You're not to have your hands in your pockets. That's just my habit. I stand that way, and I kept doing it. And every time that happened, it went into a penalty book. And my team would have to pay. I even said to Coach Rob at one point, hey, is there any way I can pay this off? I'm the one violating this. Coach Rob said, nope, live as a team, die as a team. It's costing your team. We eventually began to police one another. After every physical evolution, my teammates would say, hands, 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 and it was for me. But then it was for other guys in the team. Other guys in the team had different habits. So we started to police one another. I became the Karen cop on where our backpacks were. Every time we entered an evolution, if my teammates set their backpacks down, I'd go, oh, no, I'll go clean them up. I'd make sure they're in the right order, all facing the right way. The Karen cop, because I didn't want our team taking penalties in that. That's team. If I was an NFL player and Cam Ward was coming to my team, I'd be saying, man, if it's 3rd and long and you think you're not going to make it, you think you're not going to be able to win the game, you're not going to put your body at risk. This seems to me about Cam Ward. It doesn't seem to me that this is in any way, shape, matter, idea, faction, or form about team. I think long and hard about that. And I hope that Cam Ward will think long and hard about that. After all, God gave him great physical gifts to steward. And I hope they'll steward them a lot better.